everyone, this is Eugene Roddenberry.
Dr. Mohammed Noor.
Adam Nimoy, Leonard Nimoy's son.
This is Leonard Crowfoot.
This is Dr. Aaron McDonald, Star Trek Science Advisor and Lieutenant Commander McDonald on Star Trek Prodigy.
And you're listening to
Humanist Trek.
Humanist Trek.
You're listening to Humanist Trek.
the Humanist Trek podcast.
And you're listening to Humanist Trek, a fabulous, fabulous show.
Enjoy.
And don't worry, you can do your Temporal Mechanics 101 homework later.
So we do learn that this conflict was between the Promelians and the Minthars. Those are cigarette brands, right?
I think so. I know they're like it's what was it? The Cornelians last week.
Yeah.
Where are they getting these names?
Quinonians?
Koinonians.
Scrabble bag. That's where they're getting these names.
I think so.
Perhaps I could use this as an excuse to go to those far-off planets with little polka-dotted people if necessary, and be able to talk about love, war, nature, God, sex, all those things that go to make up the excitement of the human condition.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Welcome aboard.
Jean-Luc Picard to the Starship Enterprise.
You want to review your rapid progress?
That nonsense is centuries behind us. To the Starship Enterprise.
Oh, yeah?
That is enough, damn it!
Tempo, mon capitan.
To the Starship Enterprise.
You can't deny that you're still a dangerous, savage child race.
Of the planet Earth.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
Heldor Joy, and welcome to Humanist Trek. It's a comedy Star Trek podcast about the humanism in Star Trek. I'm Sarah Ray.
And I'm Allie Ashmead.
And I have to tell you, I'm a little jealous right now. You know, Christmas came, and I do want to mention, before we get into that I hope our patrons enjoyed their Christmas gifts that have been arriving.
Oh, yeah.
We'd love to see you, what you did with those gifts. So send us a picture or something.
PG rated.
Yes, yeah, yes. Yeah, curate, keep your dick in. So anyway, speaking of pictures, we've been seeing pictures of our Admiral Sarah D putting her Enterprise D Lego kit together, and I'm so fucking jealous.
The thing's fucking huge.
It is huge.
It is. It looks great, and she was like right on the site, waiting in line, trying to get. She got one like when they first went live.
And they went out of stock. Like it went from in stock to back order to out of stock like so fast.
Yeah.
I wish I had the money and the space and whatever
and the time
to have one. Oh, I have the time right now. See, that's the thing. Because it's holiday break, I have a whole week still.
Oh, you could have put
it together. 2 weeks
together. I forget how many pieces, like thousands and thousands of pieces. I just think that's a nightmare. I'm just thinking, what if you lose a piece?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and that happens.
Or I've seen videos where these people put their Lego creations together, and then something happens and it falls apart. They drop it. Somebody falls into it. Oh. Heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so many Lego kits that you could choose from. And I love that there's Star Trek ones now. No, just the one. But let me show you another one that you might take interest in.
Eventually, I feel like since I've got this one, I know that there will be other ones. Oh, are you kidding me? A ship in a bottle?
A ship in a bottle. Didn't you play with ships and bottles when you were a young boy, Allie?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. Is that real?
Yeah,
that's
real? A real Lego kit at Walmart. Yeah, for $185 fucking dollars.
Actually, that's not bad. I mean, I expected to be way more.
Anyway, I did build models when I was a kid, but not in bottles. I built, the little plastic fucking glue them together and paint them, planes and ships and all kinds of stuff. And Star Trek models as well. I had a model of the old TOS bridge that was one of those glue together kinds, but never in a bottle.
I when growing up, I don't know, my imagination didn't go to that Like I was more into a book
Mm-hmm.
and building the world in my head as opposed to building something concrete
Yeah.
that could be easily destroyed.
Yeah.
So I everybody I guess to each his own, but that's how my mind worked. So no, I didn't play with you can't assume that everybody played with ships in a bottle.
Do you think people in the 24th century are building ships in bottles?
No, that's what I'm like, why would he think that that's something that people would do? Like, wouldn't it be more like Lego? Like Lego is even more updated than a ship in a bottle. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, the Picard.
Well, get your ships and your bottles. It's Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 6, Booby Trap.
Commander, you'll soon be getting an intruder alert.
What? That's something, sir.
Intruder alert, sir.
It's an old-style starship, sir. Constellation class, heading this way under impulse com.
Number one, kindly take charge of our guests until we have time to decide what we're going to do with them. Sir, number one, keep them out of my way.
Allie, unfortunately, this episode marks the beginning of Geordi's awkward with women character trait as he sits on a white sand beach in the moonlight with Christy Hinshaw, played by Julie Warner, better known as Michelle Brock in Tommy Boy. Geordi tries offering her another Coco No-No, but she's not into it. And
First of all, what is in this Coco No-No drink?
Oh, God.
Everyone send your drink recipes for a Coco No-No. I would love to. That'd be great. Oh, yeah. God damn, this is awkward. Are you looking up Coco No-No?
I am.
Oh, is there a real drink? That would be hilarious.
There's a lot of places that have, created their own recipe or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, not an official recipe, I don't think. Unless it's in, there is a Star Trek recipe book that you can get. So
I
wonder
have recipes, but I don't have
it
drinks.
might be in there.
I have. There's just food.
Oh, I need the drink one. I need to know what they put in that Romulan mouthwash you bought me.
I don't know.
Anyway, Geordi tries offering her another Coco No-No, but she's not into it. And then he snaps into the holo program, a violin player. And Christy's like, I need to go now. Like, I need to wash my hair or literally anything other than this. And she bro zones him. We've all been there, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, but goddamn, this is so awkward, so cringy, and I feel like the writers did a brother dirty. Okay,
Yes,
why do you do that
agreed.
to LaForge? He is the one of the most competent people on the ship, and then you completely change him to an awkward sort of incel kind of dude who wouldn't get the message. Like if a woman doesn't like him that way,
Right.
like he wouldn't get the message, so he takes her out on a beach.
Mhm.
And then he does that whole arm around the shoulder move that you
Yes.
see in the 80s. And I wanted to shoot myself.
Oh, God.
I was like, no, don't. Why did you do this to Geordi? Come on.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, in 10 Forward, Wes is doing the future equivalent of us playing chess against the computer on Windows 3.0 as he and Data play chess. And outside, they're in what looks like some kind of asteroid belt or something. But we learn that this is all that's left of a planet, Aurelius 9, which was the final battle in some massive conflict. Then Geordi comes in, back in uniform and looking very dejected from his rejection. And
Yeah.
Wesley's like, uh-oh, Geordi lost his erection.
Oh.
Geordi had that big date tonight, and he's been working on the program for days, and it looked like it ended early.
So Data looks at him and says, uh-oh, as well. Luckily, Data gets called to the bridge immediately, so he heads out.
And on the bridge, they've picked up a signal from some ancient aliens. So many ancient aliens this season. So they go further into the debris field to investigate and find a Promelian battle cruiser, which is quite the relic because Worf and Picard are both getting hard just seeing this thing.
Apparently, they've got something called a Lang cycle fusion engine that was like all the rage. So they're both like, they got throbbing dicks because of this.
And apparently this ship is so old that the distress call was probably sent over 1,000 years ago.
Geordi, I'm sorry. I think I better go back.
Too chilly? I could turn down the breeze.
No, it's been a lovely program, and
Yeah.
you're a terrific guy.
Yeah.
I just don't feel that way about you.
Yeah. Knock it off.
I gotta say, I like the way they're approaching the teasers differently now. Like, traditional Star Trek The Next Generation would have started right here, Captain's Log,
On the
who,
bridge.
what, where, when, and why. And instead, we start with Geordi's bad date and then move into the A story setup. I like that.
I do too. It's leaves a little bit of suspense. You don't know what's happening. You start out with, sometimes they'll start right out with action.
Yep.
And it's really cool.
Yeah, it's getting better. Star Trek The Next Generation is getting better.
They got that season 3 money.
So we do learn that this conflict was between the Promelians and the Menthars. Those are cigarette brands, right?
I think so. Like it's what it was it, the Cornelians last week.
Yeah.
Where are they getting these names?
Quinonians?
Quinonians.
Scrabble bag. That's where they're getting these names.
I think so.
Anyway, they fought to their mutual extinction, and now here we have this old ship, which Picard is insistent on beaming over to himself. And of course, they're walking down there, and Riker's trying to talk him out of this, and Picard starts talking about building ships in bottles as a boy, and Riker's like, what old person nonsense are you rattling on about now, old man? What?
And he's like, yeah, I used to build them as a child. My God, I think I had a Promelian battlecruiser too. Oh, no one cares. No one cares, Picard. He is determined to go because this is like his dream. So, and Riker can't talk him out of it.
So in the transporter room, we add Data, Worf, and O'Brien to the ships in bottles conversation, which takes a comedic turn as Picard makes another in the bottle reference, and everyone just looks around like, seriously, do we need to get Grandpa back to the home?
Worf's like, I did not play with toys. And Data was like, I was never a boy. And then that only leaves O'Brien. And he's like, well, I did. And you could see Riker roll his eyes. But once they get on the transporter pad and they beam away, O'Brien and Riker have a funny exchange, and because Riker's like looking at him, really? Are you just being a kiss ass? And he's like, no, I did. I really did. Ships and bottles, great fun.
Yeah. And then
the power blows.
Over on the very ancient ship, there's some very contemporary looking space grate on the walls. The chairs and the railing look suspiciously familiar too. Like, I didn't find anything about a specific set redress in like researching, but this is obviously all shit that they had lying around. It does not look very Ancient Aliens to me at all.
It reminded me, and I didn't do any research either, but it reminded me of the Klingon ship when Riker went over it on the foreign exchange student program.
Yes, right.
But it was only, that's what it reminded me of. It could have been anything though.
Yeah. The only truly alien thing here seems to be the dead alien sitting in one of the chairs.
With a big ass ridge on their forehead. Big ass ridge.
Worf admires this, of course. They died at work, and that's an honorable death.
Great. Thanks, Worf.
Yeah. Back in 10 Forward, Geordi is nursing both a drink and his tender heart when Guinan comes to check on him. And here's another fan-fucking-tastic Guinan scene. They just really gave her the best character shit to do.
Or she just fucking made it the best because she's the fucking boss. But it's so awkward. He's like, tell me something, Guinan. You're a woman, right?
Last I checked.
Yeah. She's like, yes, I can tell you I'm a woman. And he asked, what do you want in a man? She's like, me personally? Like, as a woman, what's the first thing you look at? And she's like, his head. And it's like, oh, yeah, his mind, his brain. No, his head. I'm attracted to bald men, and I immediately thought Picard. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She says a bald man was kind to her once.
Mm-hmm.
Helped her when she was hurting. And I think this gets retconned later as Picard. I think that this is shown to be in Star Trek Picard, that Picard was the bald man that helped her once. I don't know. We may get there. We may die at our posts before it happens.
13 years.
And he's like, why can't I talk to women? And Guinan's like, well, you're doing fine with me. And he says, well, you're different. And Guinan says, no, you're different. And she gets him to see that maybe trying too hard is what's seizing him up.
Be yourself.
Yeah. Put your shields down.
Yeah.
Anyway, back on the bridge, Wes is getting some strange readings in the main power, so Riker has him run a diagnostic. And over on the warship, Data plugs in one of those battery jump boxes and turns the key, and Picard tells Worf to take a bunch of pictures. And then they turn off the distress call. How do they know what button to push for that?
I don't know. Well, they figure it out after they jump the ship, basically. This weird chirping sound starts, and then they figure out that this must be the source of the distress signal. Oh, let's turn it off.
Data finds an old VHS tape, and Picard wants to see what's on it, but Data's like, well, I'm sure we can get power to the VHS player, but those tapes are really old, and I can't guarantee that they'll still play. I have some VHS tapes in a box somewhere, and I don't know if they would still play or not. We got rid of the player a long time ago.
They should play if you have. I mean, yeah. I think I have some too. And I don't have a VCR.
Data plugs in the VCR, and an ancient alien appears on the little view screen and speaks perfect English. He wants it known that his crew were courageous, and this whole situation was his fault. What situation? Don't you worry about that just yet.
Yeah.
This captain is Gaelic Sar, played by Albert Hall, who was in Malcolm X and Major Payne, as well as 51 episodes as Judge Seymour Walsh on Ally McBeal. I was not an Ally McBeal person.
I was not either.
He also made plenty of guest appearances on shows like 24, which you do know.
All right, now I got to see who. What's his name?
Grey's Anatomy and ER. Albert Hall.
Searching.
Oh, this dude? Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Now I want to watch Malcolm X again. I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah, this dude.
Picard has seen enough, so they head back to the D, where Picard just gushes about this experience to the bridge crew.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
And throughout this, Riker and Deanna are like sharing glances back and forth, which I thought was just perfect. Riker's grinning like an idiot, watching the old man rattle on about this joy that he's experienced. Not a side of Picard that they get to see very often.
Yeah, that's exactly what Troy says. It's just a rare pleasure to see him like a kid, like giddy, like a kid. Data reports that they're experiencing like a 2% drop in their energy, and they're compensating. And then Worf chimes in that they're being bombarded with a field of high intensity radiation. And so Riker tells them to put the shields up, but then they continue to lose power. So they go to yellow alert, and then they continue to lose more power. And so Picard tells Wesley to reverse course and try to go to full impulse power, but they can't. No response from the helm. Engines aren't responding, so they're fucking stuck. And so they call LaForge. And then he did some mumbo jumbo about antimatter mixture ratio settings and blah 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 blah.
The intermixed chamber and containment field are stable.
Basically, everything looks fine, and they should be going really, really fast, but they're going nowhere. And they continue to lose power, so they now go to red alert. And Picard's like, maybe we've fallen to the same booby trap that the other that killed the Promelians.
There is adequate oxygen for life support, Commander.
It is exactly as they left it, number one. In the bottle. Ship in the bottle. Good Lord. Didn't anybody build ships in bottles when they were boys?
I never played with boy.
Senior staff meeting in the conference room. They're unable to determine the cause of the energy drain, and they can't determine the source of the radiation because it interferes with sensors. And once Data babbles about some unrelated Minthar battle strategies, it's decided that Riker and Data will return to the ship while Geordi figures out solutions to keep the D up and running. So in engineering, Geordi and Majel GPT start working on the problem, and right away we learn that there is an equal and opposite reaction happening here. When the D increases power, whatever this force is that's pulling against them matches that power. So he goes over to a terminal and starts poking around and finds a name, L. Brahms. Magelbot says, "This is Dr. Leah Brahms, an engineer and graduate of the Daystrom Institute Theoretical Propulsion Group." And he's looking over her IEDB, that's the Internet Engineering Database, and is super impressed with her credits.
She apparently wrote the book on propulsion. Majel GPT asks if he wants visual records or her voice records. So he chooses her voice. So we get to hear Leah Brahms' voice speaking to him.
Back on the bridge, we learn this isn't just some sticky glue trap. Apparently, there's medical concerns with this radiation because Crusher is laying out her plan: evacuate and seal off all non-operational areas, move the families and crew to odd-numbered decks. Then she's going to set up a triage somewhere for treating radiation symptoms because once the shields go, it's only 30 minutes to fatal exposure.
McCoy would never have had the forethought to do that kind of stuff. Like when he was reactive, he never thought about quarantining people. He never thought about triage or any of that.
Riker calls over from the alien ship. They found some more VHS tapes, so thinking that maybe there's some helpful information there, they plan to return and see if they'll play. Meanwhile, in engineering, Geordi seems to be making some progress with this Alexlia.
Oh my God, with the jokes. Alexlia. Nice.
Alexlia. And he decides he needs to replicate a cross-section of the dilithium chamber on the holodeck so he can get up in there and play around with it in a sandbox environment. And just great, we have a holodeck for that. So he finds a prototype schematic from the Utopia Planitia shipyard when the D was being built.
So he tells Majel GPT to recreate it in holodeck 3. And off he goes, and he asks virtual Leah to stay with him as he goes to holodeck 3. And then he gets there, and Majel GPT has it all loaded up and ready. And he walks in, and he's like, "Oh, this is so cool. This is like the original drafting room of the D. He wished he could have been there, right where it all started."
And outside the window, you see the D, like, still being constructed, like it's missing pieces and shit. He is totally nerding out about this. And I didn't put this together until just now as we're talking about it. But this is very parallel to Picard and his going to the Promelius ship. That's, like,
oh man, I didn't either.
Stepping back in time into a time capsule.
Boys and their toys. They literally are just fascinated with the machinery. I don't know.
One of the things I read about this episode was that Michael Piller said that this was a story about a guy in love with his 57 Chevy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when you watch Geordi and his whole relationship to the D and it's interesting.
They're both in love with the ship. I mean, they're in different aspects of it. Yeah.
So in holodeck 3, he's stepped back in time, totally nerding out, and he asks Leah, "Did you design this?" First name basis now, I guess. He's just calling her Leah. And CompuLeah responds with some textbook info. And Geordi's like, "Nah, come on. I mean, what's the inside story off the record?" And Majel jarringly interrupts that personal logs are restricted. He's like, "Fan-fucking-tastic. Another woman that won't get personal with me on the holodeck."
I found it cringe a little bit. But
it is cringe.
But I'm like, okay, fine. I get it. I'm like, I don't. in this day, watching it now, and
Mm-hmm.
it just doesn't sit well with me. Like back then it would have been fine, but I just found it
Right.
really cringe that, okay, now here you are, you sound like an incel, dude. Like one woman turns you down and suddenly all women are evil.
Right. Right. He gets back to the problem at hand, suggesting a problem and a possible solution, and asks her if it's possible. And she says, in theory, yes. And then when he asks her to show him how to make it so, a hand reaches out from off screen and touches his shoulder.
Like, Jesus.
It's Leah Brahms.
I would have been like, what? There's nobody in here with me.
What the fuck?
I know.
Yeah.
What's the inside story? Off the record.
Access denied. Personal logs are restricted.
Great. Another woman who won't get personal with me on the holodeck.
Okay. Question.
Okay.
Where is his entire staff? Doesn't
Right. Why is he working this problem alone?
Yeah. It's like where he's got a whole engineering staff.
Yeah.
Nobody.
A whole fucking team.
Nobody.
Of course, we have Susan Gibney as Leah Brahms. She comes back in DS9, which I did not remember.
Oh.
But what you may not know, which we will undoubtedly find out later, is she auditioned for Deanna Troi, Tasha Yar, 7 of 9,
wow,
and the Borg Queen, and was one of the frontrunners for Captain Janeway, along with Genevieve Buchholz and Kate Mulgrew. She's like, I'm gonna be on Star Trek, damn it.
One way or another. That's how I'd be. Like if I,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think they chose well. They cast well for the other actors. I just, she wouldn't have fit any of them. And maybe hindsight is because I've never known another 7 of 9, or we've never known another Janeway, etc.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine them as a different character,
right?
When we've gotten to see 4 different people play Kirk, we've gotten to see different McCoys and different Spocks, and that crew we have seen recast, in remakes and stuff. But TNG, I could not imagine, or TNG, DS9, and Voyager, I couldn't
imagine another Tasha.
No. In the same way that, TOS fans probably, they were very vocally adamant against, recasting and telling stories again with a different Kirk.
Yeah.
So I get that.
I did read that. So she's from the Daystrom Institute, and originally it was supposed to be Picard having this love interest with Leah. But then also they were going to make her Daystrom's daughter. So if you remember Daystrom back in TOS, he was black. He was black. And they had cast her before they realized, oh wait, she was going to be his daughter, but she would have to be black. So they had to change her name to Leah Brahms instead of, I think it was going to be something Daystrom.
Geordi's like, computer, did I ask for a simulation? And Majel's like, yeah, you did. So he gets back to yep,
He's
sure
like,
did.
You asked Dr. Brum to show you which system would accept reactants. So there you go.
Yeah. So he gets back to the problem, and HoloLeah explains how to adjust the flow of reactants to a higher rate. And that gives Geordi what he needs to complete the idea. But this is already pretty awkward because he's talking to her like she's real. And she is very obviously a computer program with no emotion.
Right.
So then he excitedly calls Picard up with this good news. And he keeps talking about, we figured this out and we haven't addressed that yet. And Picard's like, well, it sounds great so far. Give my regards to your team. Well done, everybody. And
he doesn't let on that it's just him and a hologram. But he's like, we're all smiles down here.
Data has finished his work with the old VHS tapes from the Permelian ship. Most of them were unsalvageable, but there are a few sections here and there that might play and be useful. And back in the holodeck, Geordi is running the adjustments on this sandbox dilithium chamber. And it seems like it just might work, and that's getting him excited. But when he spins around in his chair, there stands CompuLeah like a mannequin.
Just staring.
So Geordi's like, okay, I can't do this anymore. This is too fucking weird. Can you give her some kind of personality? And the computer has a few files, which when combined would give her a pretty accurate personality within a 9.37% margin of error. And when that program initializes, Leah just lights up. Susan is magic in this moment. She goes from unfeeling computer to warm and kind and familiar in such a perfect way in a nanosecond.
She's like, oh, just call me Leah. Hi, Geordi, it's me. And I think Geordi is so taken by it that he kind of constantly forgets she ain't real.
She starts techno-babbling as she heads up to a console, and Geordi's just standing there with drool dripping from his lip. And she's like, Geordi, come on, let's get to work.
Focus. On the bridge, they're playing some of the pieces of the VHS that they could salvage. And we see Gallic Sar on the monitor, and he talks about how they don't have any propulsion. Their weapons are useless. They can't move. And they're being hit with all this radiation from the aceton assimilators concealed in the wreckage surrounding and then it kind of cuts off there. But these aceton assimilators are primitive generators that can drain power from distant sources. And it took me, I must have watched this part a bunch of times before I actually figured out what the actual problem was. I could not wrap my head around what the actual problem was, but that's what it is. These rocks looks like debris are something called aceton assimilators. And they're just floating around and it drains power.
Yeah, Riker summarizes it for us non-scientists, which I appreciated. The menthols hide them in floating debris, an unsuspecting enemy ship flies in. Boom, instant booby trap. Back on the holodeck, shit has gotten heated fast. Geordi and Hololeah are screaming at each other now, and if sitcoms have taught me anything, this is going to lead to fucking pretty quickly.
Sexual tension.
The argument comes to a head as Leah's like, I'm not used to having people question my judgment. And Geordi's like, yeah, well, I'm not used to dying.
And then they kiss.
Yeah.
No, they don't. But they patch things up and they calm down. She gives him a compliment, says, you're very good. and he says, I know my ship inside and out. And she's like, well, then you must know me inside. I mean, come on,
God.
people. Gag. So much cringe. But she's like, you must know me inside and out because a lot of me is in there, which means she's one of the main designers of the ship. Anyway, Riker interrupts this sexual foreplay or whatever this is what's happening and asks him to come to the bridge. And then Geordi, as he leaves, he forgets again that she's not real. And he's like, don't go away. Save program.
Up on the bridge, they're looking for any advantage they can find, and Worf picks up a very small dip in the radiation field strength at a specific point, and they discuss maybe firing phasers at those coordinates, but also, if these are energy collectors, firing an energy weapon at them may be the dumbest idea yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so why not a physical weapon? Lob a torpedo over there.
Yeah.
No, we don't discuss that.
So what do? They do exactly that. Picard gives the order to fire a phaser, and the radiation levels start immediately increasing 8%, 10% pretty quickly, and then their energy reserves start dropping again.
And more bad news, Geordi is in the holodeck, and the computer chimes in and says the program is going to be terminated because the SOP says if energy reserves reach critical, all simulations are terminated. And Geordi tries to override, but that's restricted, and Leah and Utopia Planitia disappear back to the yellow and black grid of the holodeck.
He lost his boo.
We'd never be certain that the circuit paths are sealed.
You're good. Very good.
I know my ship, inside and out.
Well, then you must know me inside and out. Because a lot of me is in here.
The team is gathered in the conference room where Picard gets updates all around. The crystal lattice is breaking down. 2 hours left on the shields. Radiation has increased 17%, which reduces exposure time to 26 minutes now. And Picard asks about shutting down all non-essential energy, and Geordi's on Zoom. Like, yeah, we shut it all down, but I kind of need to turn it back on for a minute for the holodeck because I was running this program. And so Picard authorizes the program and tells Geordi he's got 1 hour to figure this out. So they get right back to work in the holodeck and talking through this equal and opposite reaction situation.
Yeah, he's bricking it. They don't have a lot of time left, and he's got to figure it out. All they know is that every time the Enterprise moves, there's a counter movement by the energy field, and he's trying to figure out, can we use that to our advantage somehow? And then they do some techno babble, and she's like, maybe the time differential between force and the counter force, et cetera, et cetera. He's like, that's a great idea. And he's like, I really want to fuck her. He's like, and he asks, again, he forgets that she's not real. And he says, do you like Italian food? And she flirts right back. Yeah, well, wait till I make you some of my fusilli. Okay, God, guys, focus.
Some time passes. Geordi's getting frustrated. There's too many systems that would all have to be adjusted to make this thing work. And he gets push my chair away from the table frustrated, which sends him rolling back to where Leah is standing, and she starts rubbing his shoulders. Okay, what?
Yeah.
Geordi's like, don't do that. My dick is hard, and I can't focus on this life or death problem when my dick is hard.
Oh my God.
And then he's like, seriously, this is such bullshit. We can't make adjustments fast enough, but if we could, it might work. And Leah's like, I'm just the computer. Why don't I make adjustments? And Geordi's like, come on, man. Even Data couldn't do it. Which, I mean,
Data
that
could do
right
it.
there. Data could, yeah. Do you think of Data as less, equally, or more advanced
I always thought
or
of him
capable than the D?
more. I always thought of him. He's got a positronic brain, and put that together with reason and logic, which Major GPT doesn't have. Yeah.
Yeah, my first thought was Data could do that. We saw him put all those acrylic chips back into the wall super fast, and he was high on Tasha's pussy when he did that. Data can do this.
Data, I'm only going to tell you this just once. It never happened.
I know. He could totally do it.
Yeah.
But just then, Picard enters, and I felt like guilty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt guilty on Geordi's behalf because I felt like he was doing something wrong. Like
Picard walked in on him and he had his hand under. Yeah, he had his hand under the blanket.
It feels so weird. I was so weird. I felt guilty on his behalf, like he'd been doing something wrong. And and Picard doesn't say much in here, but LaForge just launches into explanation. Well, she's just here helping me.
What happened was
and she's what I need all the extra power for, basically. We think we could maneuver out of the trap if we turn the entire ship over to the computer.
I can't imagine any ways that might go sideways.
Yeah, and Picard's like, what kind of chance do we have? And not much, but it's the only way.
So he wants to run some simulations with this AI autopilot first. And Riker dips into the ready room to discuss AI with Picard. Riker says, computers have always impressed me with their ability to take orders. I'm not nearly as convinced of their ability to give them. And immediately, again, I was like, oh, no, you didn't. You trust Data to give orders every fucking day on this ship.
He's a fucking officer. Yeah.
And then I thought, well, wait a minute. Riker probably doesn't see Data as a computer.
Yeah.
He's more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. And that's good, though. That's good.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Picard launches it into you should have played with more ships and bottles. He tells Riker he didn't play with model ships enough when he was a child. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
But down in the holodeck, HoloLeah is now running the simulation as the AI autopilot and fails spectacularly. They reduce thrust levels a smidge and run the simulation again, and this one is successful, but when they run it again with the exact same parameters, boom.
Yep.
Suddenly, red alert, deflector shields have failed, putting 26 minutes on the clock before the radiation becomes fatal.
You know, number one, you missed something not playing with model ships. They were the source of imaginary voyages, each holding a treasure of adventures. Manning the earliest spacecraft, flying an aeroplane with only one propeller to keep you in the sky. Can you imagine that? Now the machines are flying us.
Alex, Leah, and Geordi are still trying to get it to work, and LaForge is wrestling with the fact that he's asked Picard to turn the ship over to a computer, and right now that's all they have. So Picard, and then just in the nick of time, calls down to LaForge to get an update. But LaForge is like, just give me 2 more minutes. I'm almost there. Just 2 more minutes. So back to the drawing board. Alex, Leah, and LaForge are still trying to work it out, and LaForge figures something out. He's like, no, wait. Come at it from a completely different direction. It's so simple, it might even work. And of course, we don't know what it is yet. And then they start a new simulation as we switch back to the bridge.
So up on the bridge, Geordi presents this plan. Everything we've done so far has been to try to overpower this other force. What we need to do is pop the clutch and then shut everything down. Everything except life support and 2 thrusters. 12 minutes to lethal radiation. Geordi says the odds are pretty even whether we do this or turn things over to the computer, but he's putting his chips on good old human intuition and experience. No computer can beat that. So Geordi offers to drive the ship for this, but Picard feels he must do this and relieves Crusher. Don't you want your best pilot?
But this is all about Picard's ego a little bit. So he wants to do the driving. He's still stuck in that whole childhood fantasy ship in the bottle bullshit, and he wants to do he's like, no, I'll take the con. So Mr. Crusher, get the fuck out of the seat.
Riker makes a ship-wide announcement on the tannoy. Inertial dampeners might not work during this little stunt, so hang on to something. Majel tries to give another radiation warning, but Riker's like, and shut that damn thing off. So Picard hits the gas on impulse, and then they begin shutting things down. And they move a lot farther on impulse than I was expecting. Looking at the visual that they showed, there's like a 15-second delay before the counterforce pulls back.
Yeah.
That seemed wrong to me. It should have been a lot quicker, I thought. Anyway, it seems to be working. Picard's making small maneuvering adjustments with the 2 thrusters to avoid various chunks of planet around them. And Data runs the numbers again and finds that the gravitational effects on these planet chunks is having on the D will make it so that they won't make it out of the debris field.
Yeah.
Then the D is being pulled toward an asteroid, and Picard uses it to increase their velocity before hitting the thruster at the last minute and using the gravitational pull like a slingshot. And Data's like, wow, that was a great move, man.
He was so impressed. I'm like,
yeah,
Data wouldn't have even thought of that. Come on.
Right.
Next thing you know, they're done. They're through. Like, that's it.
Super easy.
It's kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah.
And so he gives the con back to Wesley, and then they restart the engines and everything's back online.
They lick off a couple of photon torpedoes and blow up that damn ship. So much for the museum, I guess. Couldn't they have put some beacons outside of this thing, warning people away, and then have some research team come back and try to find a way to turn off the energy collector things or something? Nah, we just blow it up.
Or they could have figured out a way to tow the ship out of there. I don't know. Well, I guess, whatever. Just so that no one else is gonna. So they've already turned off the distress signal, so nobody would get it, and they could just put a beacon saying don't enter because of the aceton assimilators.
Exactly.
Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, but who are we? We don't know anything.
Well, it was anticlimactic enough as it was, so I guess blowing up the damn ship was better than just driving away.
Yeah.
Anyway, back in the holodeck, Geordi is chatting up Hololeah and shit gets weird again. Geordi admits that technology is great and all, but sometimes you need to turn it off. Go hiking with your podcast host and our favorite patron. Disconnect, you know? And then Leah starts flirting for some reason. I'm with you every day. Every time you look at the engine, you're looking at me. Every time you touch it, it's me. Come the fuck on.
Oh my gosh.
Now they kiss. And Geordi turns off the program. What the fuck? And off to the next adventure.
Boy, I'm sure glad that's over with.
I'll be glad to be relieved of this cargo.
Me too.
It is done, and perhaps just as well.
Yeah, but you know, I learned something today.
I sincerely hope that this is the last time that I find myself here.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? You see, of all the species, yours cannot abide stagnation. Change is at the heart of what you are. That is the exploration that awaits you. Not mapping stars and studying nebula, but charting the unknown possibilities of existence.
Now, why is it that when Riker fucks a hologram, we expect it?
Uh-huh.
But this is just weird. This feels so ick.
Yeah.
And why is that? Why is that?
Yeah, it's because Riker is presented as an alpha macho type of dude, and Geordi in this episode is being like the beta cuck incel that has to go hide on the holodeck and beat off because he can't get the women. and so like, and I hate it. I hate every second of it.
They did, like I said, they did a brother dirty. I'm
Mhm.
mad. I'm mad at the writers for this.
Yeah.
And because like I said, he's the most competent. Like I
Mhm.
would trust him to get them out of any situation when it came to engineering. But then,
But also that's a trope, right?
Yeah.
The man who is confident in his work and his technical ability, but just can't figure out human connection, relationship stuff. That's a common
yeah,
trope that
and
we see a lot.
not saying that that's not true but that's not true for everybody, every guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't expect it for Geordi.
Yeah.
There is a weird thing here that strangely ties in today in a way that I wasn't expecting,
Mhm.
which is like this episode is not about AI love bots.
No.
We don't touch on the ethics of this at all yet. Stand by for more. We will shortly. This was supposed to be more like using cool technology to solve a problem in a unique way. This is
Mhm.
what 90s people thought would eventually be like ChatGPT,
Mhm.
only not a complete disaster for humanity. And yet, it unintentionally made me think about some very real shit in 2025. We're seeing people now creating relationships with AI chatbots like for actual real.
Yeah. I can't even imagine why. I mean, they go into it knowing this isn't
Mhm.
this isn't
Mm.
real.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow these chatbots like learn or whatever, and become like a companion, which, come on, go out. If you
Yeah.
really need a companion, go outside and meet somebody. Like, people are out there. And you don't have to use up our water and our
Mhm.
resources, because every time you do anything with ChatGPT or any of these AIs, these data centers are
Yeah.
fucking using our Earth's resources. So
Yep.
just be aware of that. I try not to use it unless I have to.
I think we'll get to this later, particularly when we get into the broccoli episodes.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of awkward in the holodeck, but
Yeah.
like for a lot of people, the idea of having to go out into the world and interact with a real person who might say no is scary as fuck. And wouldn't it be easier to just go into a holodeck and program a chatbot that will, that won't say no, that will kind of go with you on whatever crazy idea you got in your head about what you want in a relationship. And yes, that might seem easier, but there's it's missing such a core, deep component of humanity that I don't. It's a false
Yeah.
sense of something. I don't know.
I feel like it shows just how broken we are
Mm.
as humans. We are so broken that we would rather conjure up a relationship,
Yeah.
person, thing, and knowing it isn't real, just so we can feel better instead of doing something hard, like walk out fucking side and talk to a
Yeah.
stranger.
Yeah.
We
Mm-hmm.
are broken, fucking broken. And I don't see it getting any better. I think of The Matrix, like that movie was one of the best movies ever. But I think it'll be 30 years when we have destroyed all of the fresh water and the resources. There's pollution in the air, and we're all just
Mm-hmm.
hooked up to a battery because that's
Yeah.
where we're happiest. We just have to sit there and exist, and we're powering the earth because and we're living in a dream world
Mm-hmm.
with only our minds alive, and
Yeah.
everything we see isn't real. And I feel like, God, I feel like
Yeah.
that's where we're going.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to see that as a possible future.
Yeah.
Yeah. And things are like, I hate to even talk about Geordi in this context, but like, we're in an inflection point in our society, particularly in the West, with the manosphere
Yeah.
and like toxic masculinity. And God, you can't even mention toxic masculinity, or half of these guys are, all dude broed out about that's bullshit, that doesn't exist.
Yep.
And yeah, like the incel movement, and yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, like, watching that in the 90s probably didn't bother me so much, but now I am so cringe. It's so cringe.
How much of this is the internet's fault? How much of this is, while the good parts of being connected to the entire world 24/7, we have a listener in Rome,
I
Allie,
know.
a patron in Rome.
Thank you so much, by the way. Thank you
But
so much.
what the fuck, man? What the fuck? As a child, I could not have comprehended the idea of that.
Yeah.
And now we're so connected to all the time in ways that are not genuine connection,
Yeah.
but that is a kind of connection that doesn't provide for all the human needs that going out to the townie bar for New Year's Eve and chatting with people who, live in the neighborhood or whatever
Yeah.
provides.
But the difference is we're real. We're real, though. It is a connection. It is a connection with because we are real. We're not AI. So
Right.
and every connection that you have with a real person, I feel like is important. Like,
Yes. Oh, for sure.
and it's because it's real.
Yep. Yeah. Like, again, another one of the good things about the internet connecting us is that we are connected in that way. There are people for whom, making friends in the real world is very difficult, and they can find someone online that they can talk to, and it is a real human, and
Yeah.
get the interaction and friendship that way.
Yeah.
And that's the good side of the internet. And then there's this other stuff that's like, man, what have we done to ourselves?
Yeah. Where the people say, I don't want a real connection. I want someone who's going to be this way and I can control everything. That's scary to me.
Yeah. Well, did we beat this episode to death?
I'm just mad right now at at the writers, and I'm mad at myself for not seeing it back then. How this was just was doing LeVar Burton a disservice.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But you're right. Like, this is a 90s thing that in the 80s and 90s, this was a thing. And we did this in television and movies. And it's one of those things that when you look back at it decades later, you go, ugh, that wasn't funny. That wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't cool. And it was cringe.
Yeah.
But I'm glad, because we should change. decade to decade to decade.
Yes.
We shouldn't, and even then 20 years from now, when someone watches this, they may see something completely different. So this is how society is supposed to progress. Is like we no longer think that way, and we can look at that and see it for what it is. I guess.
Amen. Yes. Did you write a rap for Geordi's Hard On?
No.
Which died this week?
Good God. I was too busy vomiting. So no. Did not.
We can handle all the pleasantries later. Now, let's get down to business.
I am willing to pay handsomely for you. I think you've had a little too much to drink.
Now, what do you know about my money?
Your money.
The money he stole!
You stole his money?
Those vouchers I gave you were every bit as good as Latinum.
You can spend Latinum almost anywhere. Those vouchers are only good at your bar.
All right. As always, we want to thank all of the people who support the show at patreon.com/humanisttrek. And a special thank you to our founding admirals at the highest level. A special thanks to Allie, Peter, Sarah D, the Bruce.
The Bruce. The Picard, it's the Bruce.
The Baron Curate podcast, and some call him Tim. Thank you all so much for supporting the show.
Thank you, patrons.
Captain, Starfleet Academy is requesting an update on our estimated arrival.
Finalists, please take your seats.
I must admit you have a very fast mind.
Once I realized it was a trick question, there was only one answer.
Although only one student will be chosen for the Academy, any of you could easily qualify. Candidates, good luck.
You got called to the superintendent's office. It's a story I'd like to hear.
Becca's back now with the answer to this week's Starfleet Academy Cadet Challenge for Booby Trap.
Booby.
You said booby. Oh my God. Becca, what was our question?
I know it's a Star Trek podcast, but I didn't realize I was doing this with two teenage boys.
Beavis and Butthead at your service.
Yes. Oh my goodness. In this episode, Dr. Leah Brahms is played by Susan Gidney. Gidney. What other Trek roles did she audition for?
And what did we say? We looked it up and talked about it on the episode. We will, Allie. Don't worry.
Wow.
But I don't remember, and I don't remember what our guesses were.
You guessed Troy, Crusher, Kira, Dax, and B'Elanna.
We guessed all the women. She was also up for Janeway. I know that.
God, can you fucking let me do my thing here?
Okay, fine. Sorry.
I could totally see her trying to do Janeway early. Yeah.
You got 1 out of 5.
Oh, fuck.
1.
I mean, you got 1.
Okay, fine. We got 1.
Affirmative.
She auditioned for the roles of Counselor Deanna Troi and Lieutenant Tasha Yar before Marina Sirtis and Denise Crosby were cast respectively. She was later a frontrunner for Captain Catherine Janeway and 7 of 9 in Star Trek Voyager and the Borg Queen in Star Trek First Contact, but was passed over for Kate Mulgrew, Jerry Ryan, and Alice Cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll take a point again.
1 point.
You blew it. You had the opportunity for 5.
I think they cast everybody well, and
I think so too.
I don't know. I feel bad that she tried so many times and just it didn't work. So.
She's great in this role.
Yeah,
for sure. Next time on Humanist Trek, we'll be reviewing Star Trek: The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 7, The Enemy. After Geordi is stranded on a storm-ravaged planet, the crew's attempts to rescue him are hindered by an aggressive Romulan warship.
I think I remember this one where he was with another Romulan, and they had to figure out how to work together to get off.
The Romulan had like a broken leg and Geordi was blind or something.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Or vice versa.
And of course, they don't trust each other.
Geordi is blind. Yeah, right. They have to build some kind of relationship. What is our question for The Enemy?
Commander Potok's name is never said on screen. only listed in the ending credits. Therefore, its pronunciation is not known. But phonetically, it would appear to be suspiciously similar to the Klingon curse word patak. What is the meaning or use for the Klingon word patak?
It's like a curse word, like idiot or something, or you know what I mean? Because the only B'Elanna used to use it all the time. It's like a stupid person or an idiot or an imbecile or something.
Yeah, dumbass.
Yeah, dumbass.
Double dumbass on you.
You patach. I was trying to get that on my license plate. It was taken. Kapla was also taken. I spent so long trying to find something to put on my license plate.
That's crazy. Well, if you are a patak, you know how to play along. Go to your social media and share your answer with the hashtag Starfleet Challenge. We'll pick out a winner. And next time on Humanist Trek, we'll discuss Star Trek The Next Generation Season 3, Episode 7, The Enemy.
Patach! It's a good day to die.
Tavale.
Humanist Trek is available wherever you replicate your podcasts. Follow us on all the social medias at Humanist Trek. Become a patron at patreon.com/Humanist Trek. Open hailing frequencies to podcast@humanisttrek.com and visit our website, humanisttrek.com. Humanist Trek is a production of Sarah Austin Media.